Hi there. So today's coleslaw recipe has a story. This is from one of our Gary's Galley family members, Teresa Polish. And recently, when Billy went to California, he stopped by, he spent the night with Teresa and Tom, lifelong friends, and they fed him dinner. And part of that dinner was this coleslaw. Now, the funny thing is that Teresa had reached out to me to ask me what Billy liked and disliked. And fortunately, I did not get the message, because the one thing I would have said that he really doesn't like is coleslaw. But because I didn't get the message, they made him this Tabasco coleslaw, which was a recipe handed down to Tom from his mother. And so the next morning, Billy was raving about the cabbage dish they served him and how much he loved it. So I reached out to Teresa and said, I need that recipe because Billy loved it. So she searched and found it and sent it to me. I think I've made it for him. How many times, baby? I mean, 4 times since he got back, because he loves it that much. Now, it is really simple. There's not a lot of stuff in it, and yet you gotta kind of like Tabasco because it is very Tabasco forward, which is, I think, what he likes about it. But I wanted to share that with you and say thank you to Teresa and Tom for sharing the recipe with me. Now, the recipe, and there's a picture of the recipe, the original recipe on the website with this recipe, because I had to scale it down some, because that recipe was for 3 pounds of cabbage and served 12, and I kind of broke it down to a pound of cabbage because that's more reasonable for Billy and I. We definitely don't need 3 pounds of coleslaw. So for my version of a little bit small down, we want 1 pound of shredded cabbage, and then to that I'm going to add 2 medium carrots shredded. So I would say, depending on the size of the carrot, 1 to 2 carrots. And then for the dressing, it calls for 1 cup of mayonnaise. But because I make my own mayonnaise, I just go ahead and make the mayonnaise and put all of the ingredients that what I put in the mayonnaise into here and make it, if that makes sense. But if you want to already have mayonnaise, you need 1 cup of mayonnaise, or if you want to make your own homemade like I'm doing here, 2 egg yolks, half a teaspoon of cane sugar, hold on, a 1/4 teaspoon kosher salt, homemade Cheesettes coming out of the oven. So let those sit there and cool. And to that, we're going to add a tablespoon of red wine vinegar and a tablespoon of Tabasco. Now, in her recipe for the 3 pounds, it's 2 tablespoons of Tabasco. But I'm putting 1 because this is, Tabasco coleslaw. So I really want this to be Tabasco forward. Now, I had to go buy Tabasco because I only had my own homemade hot sauce, but I went and bought Tabasco. And I was happy to note, feel free to buy Tabasco. There's nothing bad in the ingredient list, which, hooray. All right, let me look. Sugar, salt, Tabasco, red wine. We're going to do a little half and half later. 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. And you can either add all of that to your mayonnaise, or if you're doing it like us, add 1 cup of avocado oil. And I almost forgot the white pepper, and I'm going to do probably a 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper. So now we're going to start my immersion blender. I'm going to count to 20 before I start moving it up. So now we're going to add that to our cabbage and carrots over here. and give it a little taste. You might want to add a little more Tabasco, or you might find that you want to add a little more salt. And I find that for coleslaw, really you need to let it sit a while and really let it start breaking down before you can truly taste it and test it. So I'm going to add all of this into here. Definitely taste the Tabasco. I think the Tabasco is perfect. And I know since I've made it that this is how Billy likes it. So we're going to give this a mix. And again, with coleslaw, I really like it better the next day. So when I was growing up in West Virginia, they had kind of two kinds of coleslaw. They had that really finely like chopped, shredded up, and that was your hot dog coleslaw. Or they had the coleslaw that was cut into like bigger wedges, and that was dinner coleslaw. So I'm thinking you could certainly put this on your hot dog, and you could certainly cut your cabbage however you would like. Okay, Billy, come taste and say hi to Teresa. And tell her thank you.
Thank you.
You gotta come taste and tell her thank you for a coleslaw I can feed Billy, which makes me happy.
She likes coleslaw. I love this coleslaw. This is the best stuff.
All right. Say hi, Teresa.
Hi, Teresa. Hi, Tom. This is the best stuff ever created. It made me eat cabbage, which I never would have done.
Is it a little bit as good as Teresa's?
It's as good as Teresa's. And this is the best feed in California.
We're not talking about feed. Go away. All right. Thank you so much, Teresa, for sharing this recipe with me, for sharing it with Billy, and any of our other family members out there in Gary's Galley world. Do you have a recipe you want to send me? Be happy to give it a try, and maybe do a video with it. So, thank you, Teresa, for this beautiful recipe. Thank you, everybody, and Tom, and Tom's mom, and Tom's mom. Thank you, everybody, as always, for being here. It's so appreciated. Love y'all. I'll see you later. Bye.